Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach T with Chicago Bears 360. Back with another live show for you. Apologies. Always with the technical difficulties, bro. I got to get it together, man. Listen, do me a favor as you come into the chat. Like, subscribe, share. Also, follow me on Twitter, Bears360_Coach T, for all of my takes live. I'm going to live tweeting tonight during the game. And, of course, I tweet throughout the week. If they even call that tweeting anymore, so Xing tweeting, whatever. Listen, we have a good show for you today. We're going to talk about, you know what I'm saying, Tyson Bagent going into L.A. later tonight on prime time versus the Charger to take on that pass rush of the Charger defense. Listen, I'm going to talk about the Olin Kreutz video, the take from Olin Kreutz on 670 The Score, and so much more. We're going to get into it, man. Listen, lock in, tap in. Again, like, share, subscribe. Listen, let us know. Let them know you're here. Join the Chicago Bears 360. Let's get into it. Y'all know what's next. Cue the intro, maestro. Let's go.
Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence. On the road to them Benjis, I fill my teeth with diamonds. I'm high as fuck in the sky, you would've thought I'm pilot. I'm from Chicago, it get ugly, fill the streets with violence. Life like chess, move to pieces, you know I roll in silence.
Past, present, future. We bear down.
All right, there we go. We got it live. We're back with you. Chicago Bears 360 with Coach T. Thanks for hanging out with us again, man. It's week 8. Bears at Chargers in L.A. on Sunday Night Football, prime time. Tyson Bagent versus Justin Hurburt. Listen, I'm going to talk about the matchup, keys to the games, what Luke Getsy needs to do to help Tyson out, to pull out the victory, and so much more, man. We're going to get into it, like I said, man. But before we do that, man, let me give a quick shout out to all my field soldiers. My field soldiers, that's those that have subscribed to the channel over to the last year and a half or so, man. I appreciate you. We continue to get new followers, man, since I started back up or rebooted the channel. Over 35 subscribers, man. So the channel is growing. The views is going crazy, man. You guys are commenting. You guys are debating in the comments, man. And I love it. Keep the dialogue coming, man. Listen, but just keep it, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it sane in the comments, man. Don't get disrespectful. Definitely don't get no disrespectful to me, man, because you're going to find yourself blocked from the channel and not able to view content moving forward. We're going to just keep it a buck with you right there. Listen, but y'all know how I do it. You know the flavor here at Chicago Bears 360, man. Listen, it's Chicago Bears football from a coach's perspective. That's the niche here, right? I break down the X's and O's where I give you the strategy, help you understand the whys of why you see certain things, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, although I do dive into some defensive stuff. But my passion is on the offensive side of the ball because that's the side I coach, man. Not only install game planning and play calling on the offensive ball, you know what I'm saying? I got a few players in the league, you know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. No name dropping all that. If you know me, you know who they are. We'll just keep it at that. Anyway. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know Coach T likes to keep receipts, man. And I've been talking about, you know what I'm saying, how we're, you know what I'm saying, implementing this offense throughout the season, man. I've been very critical of Luke Getsy throughout the season, man. But I keep receipts, man. And the reason why I got to keep receipts, man, is because usually the mainstream media is about a week and a half behind some of my takes. A lot of people don't get them at first, but they come around eventually, man. And one of the things I said, man, is the reason why I've been very critical of Luke Getsy because I watch it on film. And I did a show called Justin or Luke, Somebody Has to Go, right? And the catalyst, the basis or the premise of that show was based off the fact that, you know what I'm saying, Luke Getsy refuses to customize his play style or his playbook to fit the skill set of the quarterback, right? And Olin Kreutz came out with a tweet or the video this week on 670 Score that he was describing basically the same thing I was saying based off of the film. And he said basically that, listen, if you're not going to customize the system to the kid, man, you know what I'm saying, you want the kid to go somewhere else. And selfishly, I don't want to see that happen because I feel like the Bears have waited long enough to get a good quarterback. And I think they're doing themselves a big disservice by not utilizing the skill set of this quarterback and developing them into a system, right? And I'll talk about more about this after I play the clip. So hang on a second. And for those of you that didn't see the clip, hang on a second and check this out real fast. Let's see what Olin had to say.
The Bears have shown you that they're not going to design an offense. I want to see Bagent again. I'll tell you guys why. I don't think the Bears have shown you that they're not going to design an offense around Justin Fields, right? It's not that any of us think Justin Fields can't win in the NFL, that we don't see his immense talent, that we don't see the way he runs the ball, that we don't think he's a dynamic playmaker. It's just that the Bears are insisting that they want a quarterback that can beat you from the pocket. And the only thing that tells me that is the film. The film tells me that they insist on Coach Getsy, Coach Eberflus, Ryan Poles. They want a quarterback in the pocket. They don't want these college concepts. They don't want to run a lot of quarterback runs. They don't want to run a lot of zone reads. So if you're going to do that, if I'm Justin Fields, guys, I want out of Chicago. I want to go somewhere where they use me the way I think I can help a team win, the way I think I can be elite. So I think they should stay with Bagent because that's the kind of quarterback they want anyway, to put him in the pocket, to make the throws, and just to be efficient running the offense from the pocket.
Isn't that the antithesis of what coaching is supposed to be? Build the system around your talent and not try to force the talent into the system.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they hired Coach Getsy, and he comes with a certain system. I'm sure they interviewed him and they asked him what he was going to run, and they could turn on the Green Bay Packers film and they could see what he was going to run. So I'm sure they knew what kind of system he was bringing to Chicago, and they already had Justin Fields, so they knew what they were going to kind of system they were going to put him in, right? And we go all the way back to his last game, and everybody watched it a million times. They're in empty against the Minnesota Vikings, and he's got to get the ball out and all this stuff. But like you're saying, Danny, like they'll go 1 week and there'll be quarterback runs, and they'll get him out of the pocket and move him around, and they'll play a defense that you think like they're going to have to move this guy around a lot. The Minnesota Vikings and Flores, and they lead the league in blitz percentage and all that stuff we talked about. But they showed you that day they're not going to do it. So why keep forcing him out there and making him do things he doesn't do?
Hey, so there you have it, man. Shout out to Olin Cruz right there on this take. Listen, I agree wholeheartedly with Olin Cruz has to say, with the exception of when he started describing specifics about how the Bears should utilize Justin Fields, right? Roll in the pocket. Some of the concepts and philosophy he mentioned, the concepts and how to use Justin Fields, I disagree with. But I agree with, and I've said it already before, I've done a whole show on it, that my frustration, and this may be different than a lot of people that's pounding the table for Justin Fields. My frustration with this particular coaching staff, right, is the fact that you refuse to customize the offense to the talent of your quarterback. Now, this is I get it. I get the fans' perspective, but I disagree with it, a lot of the fans' perspective. Because this is how the blame cycle goes for fans. Fans go quarterback, head coach, GM, fire everybody. That's usually the blame cycle. The rarity is in the case with the Chicago Bears, we have a lot of people mentioning Luke Getsy's name because people like myself started last year criticizing and calling Luke Getsy by name and making his name known. And then you have people like myself that can go into and describe what somebody like Luke Getsy's actual responsibility is. The average fan does not even know what the offensive coordinator does outside of calling plays on game day or giving a game plan. The average fan, right? If they do know that, they don't know about install. If they do know about install, they don't know about different concepts, right? They don't know about different run concepts and pass concepts, or whether in the passing game, whether you're a numbers guy or you're a concept guy, and what are you running in the run game? What concepts do you believe in, right? Because these all lead to the identity of your offense and tell how and what kind of offensive football team you're going to be. And I want to go back a few points to Olin's video because related to the fans, right? One of the things that annoy me, and maybe I'm just overlooking or you know what I'm saying, over analyzing the video. One of the things that annoyed me when I watched that video, and again, I may be over analyzing his body language. It was the guy in the middle. I don't know his name, but he seems to be like not annoyed with Olin basically spitting facts in there and saying, when I look at the film, this lets me know that you guys won't customize the offense to the talent of your player. And this is where most fans are, because they don't know the job of the OC. You know what I'm saying? Again, the blame cycle goes quarterback, head coach, GM, fire everybody. It skips over the OC, and they just want to win. They just want to see what they call efficient football. They don't care how we get there. They just want to get there. And shout out to you if that's who you are. If you don't want to dive into the details of football, shout out to you. But again, if you're going to call yourself debating football, right, you're going to be one of those people that always push back, or I trust my eyes and all this other stuff. Well, guess what? I got a new saying that says, guess what? The tape does lie. The tape lies when you don't know what you're looking at. That's my new saying. That's my new saying. The tape does lie when you don't know what you're looking at, right? So if you're looking at tape, are you looking at, you know what I'm saying, which way the protection call was given on a given pass play? Which way are we sliding the offensive line? What call did they make up front, perhaps? Did they slide right? Did they slide left? Did we check out of, or did we add on to the protection from the quarterback, right? Did the quarterback make a protection call to add on to the center's call, right? They drop back to pass. What protection are we in? 50, 60, 70 protection, right? Max protection. What is the progression? What's the progression of the quarterback? Is he right to left, left to right, high to low, low to high, right? People aren't looking at that. They just know how to diagnose the results of a play. Was it complete, incomplete? Did Justin throw the ball? Did he not throw the ball? Did we score a touchdown? No, we didn't score a touchdown. Did we win the game? Did we not win the game? Very high level macro you know what I'm saying, analysis of the game. And again, I'm not expecting every fan to be, you know what I'm saying, a football savant of X's and O's. But guess what? If you have that kind of curiosity about the game, then this is the channel for you, because this is where we're going to talk about that kind of stuff. So you can back your takes up with some good football concepts, X's and O's, understanding what's happening behind the scenes, why Luke Getsy came out in an empty formation versus the Minnesota Vikings, and why we were critical of that over Justin Fields letting the ball go and releasing it. See, the people that know football, we were critical of the formation, right? People that don't know football, they were critical of him not releasing the pass, right? We were questioning, why would you come out versus Brian Flores' heavy blitz team, and your first play of the game is you going 12 personnel, 11 personnel, multiple tight ends, 12 personnel in a spread formation, and to do what? What is the strategy here, right? Knowing what's happening behind the scenes in football to be able to diagnose a play. So one part of that video annoyed me because the guy in the middle seemed like he still didn't believe what Olin was telling him. Olin was kicking facts. Like, he was annoyed by the fact that what Olin's saying and you don't understand it. Because you don't understand it, then you're dismissive of the take. Oh, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to customize the offense to fit Justin's skill set. So I think, you know what I'm saying, we should trade him. He should go somewhere that's going to customize the offense to fit his skill set. And in your mind, you might be thinking, well, I just want him to play better. But play better how? Every great quarterback, Tom Brady is a system guy. Aaron Rodgers is a system guy. Tom Brady's a system guy. The reason why Tom Brady took the system in New England to Tampa Bay with him, right? Aaron Rodgers took the system from Green Bay to New York with him. That's why they made sure Mike LaFleur, the old OC in New York, got fired, and he brought in Paul Hackett to make sure, and he brought in players. He brought in his buddy, the receiver. He brought in a few receivers because he's a system guy, right? So the greats are system guys, and they have systems customized to fit their skill set. So why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we doing it? And so the guy looked like he was frustrated at Olin because Olin was kicking facts and telling the truth. But because you don't know systems, then you don't know X's and O's, you're going to dismiss the tape, right? And Olin said it's based on the film. He said that like 2 or 3 times at the beginning. It's based on the film. So when we're making these takes, guys, we're not making these takes, we're not pulling it out our ass. We're making the takes because it's based off of the film, because we know the concepts. We know what's going to be good for somebody like Justin and what fits the skill set or Tyson Bagent. So I I pound the table based off of those takes, and based off of the tape, and based off of the film. And once again, the film does lie. The tape does lie if you don't know what you're looking at. It's plain and simple. It's just like that. That's the rent. The tape does lie if you don't know what you're looking at, right? So, yeah, guy seemed frustrated at Olin's tape, right? He said it's based off of the film, right? And again, you got Aaron Rodgers up at Green Bay, which, he's bringing the offense. Luke Getsy is. It's based off of 2010, 2015 Mark McCarthy style offense where you sling the ball over the yard, 5-man protection, right? You're slinging the ball over the yard, and you're putting up numbers in the passing game without no consideration as to what type of offensive line do you have. Do you have 5 guys, 5 studs that can stand up in 5-man pro by themselves without any help from the tight end or running backs? One, do you have those same type of players that Aaron had, right? Do you have those same type of players, the same skill play set in running back, right? Running back, not just a guy that can run the ball, but a guy can block, right? Do you have the same kind of tight ends? Do you have the same type of receivers, right? It's not plug and play. It's not Madden. You just can't switch out a system. This is what Nagy tried to do. Nagy was successful at his first year, right? But in his second year, because he didn't have all the same type of players, right? In his second year, his system, plus the league had caught up with him, right? So you can't copy and paste somebody's playbook and take it from one organization to the next if you don't have those same type of plays. And one thing I tweeted, man, one things I tweeted earlier today, one thing that's very overrated about NFL coordinators is this. One thing's very overrated about NFL coordinators is this. You know what I'm saying? Because fans think they're just some kind of like real football savant. These NFL coordinators are specialists of the coaching tree from which they come. They're specialists of the coaching tree from which they come, right? So if you come from a Kyle Shanahan system, then you're pretty much going to be pretty well-rounded. You're going to be pretty much well-rounded if you truly come from a real Kyle Shanahan coaching style tree. But if you come from a Sean McVay, the thumbprint of that is on that. And those systems have limitations. And more importantly, those systems are, especially McVay's system, because he said it on Hard Knocks. He said only about 6 to 8 people on a given team can traverse systems, right? This is Sean McVay's words himself, meaning I have to find guys that fit what I do. It's about the system. The system has to be the star, right? And if you don't have a system that's a star, then you're going to always have confusion in your fan base about what's going on. And again, fans don't know to blame or point the finger at the offensive coordinator because they don't know his job. It's that plain and simple. So I beat that course to death. I hope I hit all my points. Dude in the middle was tripping. I think body language was bad. He didn't agree. I don't think he agreed. It's based off of the film, and it doesn't fit it, right? So, listen, don't put me in the category of just being a cult, you know what I'm saying, Justin fan supporter, or anything like that. I have a reason why, right? And then you fast forward, and I gave y'all the guys the comps. If you're going to compare, let's talk about this. Let's shift the conversation a little bit. If you're going to compare, I gave you the comps. The comps for the two quarterbacks should be Minnesota versus Minnesota because both of them were given the same shitty game plan. That's the comps. That's the comps for you. Minnesota to Minnesota, or you compare Denver, Washington, and the Raiders game. Compare those games because those game plans were more likely. The Raiders game is on the more conservative end of a run heavy, play action style, blah, blah, blah offense, right? And I would say the Washington game is probably on the more extreme side. And I would say the Denver game with more balance. So compare those 3 games if you want to compare the quarterbacks, right? But here's my take about the comparison even, right? Because I said this on Thursday's show and I'm going forward on the whole quarterback controversy comparison or whatever we call ourselves doing. My mouth's not working, so y'all put my finger in y'all face for a little bit. After thinking about it, I was like, we really shouldn't be you know what I'm saying, going at each other's throats about, you know what I'm saying, who should be what, who's QB1, quarterback controversy. What we really should be focused on is the fact that the Chicago Bears as an organization, when it comes to the quarterback position, we're in a good position. We're in a good position, right? Right? Yeah, there's a lot of, need for improvement, if you will, from Justin Fields. Like we'll acquiesce on that arguing point, right? We don't really know what we have in Tyson Bagent, right? I think Bears fans could agree with that. Like if you're sitting somewhere in the middle, you're living in a world of reality, you're willing to at least concede those points, right? You know what I'm saying? There's improvement that needs to be happening, or things we need to see more from JF1, more from Justin Fields. We also need to see more from Tyson Bagent, right? We're not ready to anoint him as Jesus in cleats either, right? So if we really think about it and you put these two quarterbacks together and the strengths and weaknesses of both quarterbacks, we actually have a good quarterback in the building. And there you have it, man. That's all I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to get away from the comparison and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if y'all want to do that because you can't come up with better football takes, then by all means. But again, I think if we put both quarterbacks together and we allow them, if Luke can grow up from a coaching standpoint and you just allow these guys to kind of mix their skill sets together and evolve, then we should probably be able to play some decent football towards the end of the season, man. Me personally, I don't know, bro. I just don't trust Luke. I just don't. I love Tyson Bagent. I like the kid's moxie. I like it. I love his story. You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't like a story where a guy, you know what I'm saying, got it out the mud, as Michael Smith put it? You know what I'm saying? I can resonate with that, resonate with me, identify with that, getting it out the mud, all that stuff, bro. Love the kid's story. Love the fact that he's throwing over 7,000 passes. You know what I'm saying? He's put in the work. Love the kid. Love his joy and excitement for the game. And I can evaluate that in a vacuum without having to take away from Justin Fields when I look at that. I can evaluate his quarterback play. He gets the ball. He has a quick release, right? You cannot deny that when you see it on film. You can deny that when you see it on film. The confidence, all that stuff, understanding the playbook, all that other stuff. But for some reason, whatever reason, we have to take from one and give to the other and all this other stuff. And I'm just trying to pull myself back from that, right? I feel like regardless of the fact we got two quarterbacks that's, you know what I'm saying, valid in the room, and the Bears should be good going into the draft next year. We're going to have the conversations about quarterbacks. We should be able to go ahead and continue to build this football team and let those guys battle it out. Period, point blank. Now, I think the system matters when they're battling it out, right? The system matters as they're battling it out, right? But it's only going to make both of them better. I think the system does matter when they're battling it out. And matter of fact, I don't think I kept it. I might have kept it. But Luke Getsy gave a great answer to when Herb Howard asked a question about how do you evaluate the differences between the two quarterbacks. I'm going to play a little bit for you so we can keep it moving.
As you evaluate the different strengths in your quarterback room, I want to go back to that same 3rd and 5 play. You had
the first one, right? Yeah.
The first touchdown. You got to a point where, again, Tyson worked his way across, but then also that left side kind of left open. First of all, they didn't take Deontay in the flat. Justin may be more likely to hold on to the ball a little bit longer. He may get to that flat play, or he may just take off with the left sideline. He may actually score on that play. How do you balance what Tyson does well in terms of reading, getting that ball out and on time, and what Justin may likely do in terms of holding that thing and taking up the left sideline for a 50-yard touchdown?
It starts with being process driven. I guess that's where you start the whole thing off at, right? So you're teaching the quarterback timing, rhythm, footwork that matches your progression. So when you hit a certain timing in your footwork, if that number one progression is not there, it's time to go to 2, and so on and so on. And so that's the starting point for it all, right? But in the end, when you play the game, right, the style of a player, the instincts of a player, they have to always take over, right? This is a player's game. Your job is to put them out there and give them the time, the space.
I'll leave it at that. Luke Getsy, I'll give him credit. He answered that question greatly. It boils down to the style of the player. You know what I'm saying? One guy's going to be, you know what I'm saying, classical, but one guy's going to be jazz, right? It's subjective. It's like It's like debating music. It's like who's your top 5 rappers? Who's your top 5 R&B singers, classical singers, or whatever? It's subjective. It's up to interpretation, right? And a lot of our understanding about what good quarterback play is, and let's have a mature conversation about the racial component of it that's made its way to Twitter is. And I'm not shying away from any topic. I'm just not that guy. I'm not built like that. A lot of our perspective is understanding of what good quarterback play is based off of white pocket passing quarterbacks, because historically that's all a lot of us have known. Even the very system that Luke Getsy comes from is based off of Aaron Rodgers' system. It's not a system that is suited to a dual threat quarterback, right? So when people mention things like implicit bias and stuff like that, I don't think y'all should be, and the fans should get all up in irons. That's just a conversation to be happening because it's real. It's real. And y'all see how I just connected the dot on that. Luke Getsy answered the question greatly. Once I've done my job as a coordinator and I got this type of quarterback and I have that quarterback, it's up to the individual quarterback to how he interprets the play call or the game plan to do what he does. And again, it's classical versus jazz. You know what I'm saying? It's country, it's hip hop, whatever you want to compare it to, but it's left up the interpretation of the player. And again, a lot of our biases is set up off of what we've known historically as good quarterback play. So with that, I'm going to leave it at that and say this. I believe in Tyson Bagent. I am excited for Tyson Bagent start on Sunday Night Football versus the Chargers, and this is what I'm looking forward to. So let's get into last week's play chart, and this is how I believe the Los Angeles Chargers are going to try to attack Bagent. If we look at his chart from last week, listen, hopefully you can see that. So y'all see mostly everything is out to the outer thirds out here on your left side, some stuff behind the line of scrimmage, more passes to your right, but to the outer thirds, didn't really attack the middle. And by NFL standards, the blue line is the line of scrimmage. Nothing really deep. One pass at about 15 yards. So I want to go to Coach T's playbook real fast, and I want to get into how I feel like the Los Angeles Chargers are going to try to attack this young quarterback. Again, I want to see him light the Chargers up. My stat line for him was 253 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on about, I said it's about 31 passes. It was going to be just under 70%, about 68% completion. I want to see him overcome this Chargers D and light him up. Based off of the passing chart, let's get into Coach T's playbook and see how we're going to attack this thing.
You know, I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. How you want it, dog? Huh? Closed casket? You remember that fool in the wheelchair? How you think he got there?
Hey, y'all know how I do with these dang on X's and O's takes. I'm surgical with it. Shout out to my man Renzo from Training Day for the soundbite, right? The soundbite. Do me a favor, y'all come in, like, subscribe, share. Let's get into these X's and O's. Coach T's playbook, like only your boy can do. I had this up already, but I want to really draft up something and customize. Let me bring this to the center. And I just want to talk about football in general and how to attack this defense, right? Right? And how I think this defense will come at us and where I think the opportunity is going to be at. So if y'all remember, most of the passes from Tyson's play chart were either behind the line of scrimmage or to the outer thirds out here. Left outer third, right outer third. There was more on the right outer third, right? And what I think the Raiders did, the mistake they made is versus Tyson Bagent on last week is we saw a lot of too high safety look, right? And with too high safety look, you're going to get a lot of you're going to get 7-man boxes, right? So the Los Angeles Chargers are going to have to make a decision. If Luke Getsy is in his bag, he's going to come out and steal as part of our identity, right? He's as part of the identity, he's going to continue to run the ball, right? He's going to continue to run the ball as part of our identity. Don't go away from your identity, Luke. You average over 4 yards per carry, run 12 and 13 personnel, right? So I got 2 tight ends right here, player under center, single back set, right? Or you're going to put a fullback in here and go with the power eye look and just run the ball at them, right? Force them to stop you, Luke. This is the first step in success tonight. Luke has to nut up and force them. Now, y'all forgive my defensive alignment. Oh, they do run I think they do run the 3-4 in at LA, right? So this is probably going to be accurate, right? Luke has to establish his identity and still run the ball, especially versus 2 high safety looks, right? He's going to have to continue to run the ball versus this 2 high safety look to establish the run. Anytime they're in a 7-man box, you have to punish them because you have to make them move this safety down in the box to play ball in the box. So you want 8-man boxes. But here's the problem with that. If you have 8-man boxes, and the beauty of the 3-4 defense is the Los Angeles coach can play with his linebackers. And one of the reason why teams employ the 3-4 defense is you get to play with these linebackers out here. So you don't know which one is going to come, right? So you don't know which 4 is blitzing or all 5 down, all 3 down linemen and the outside linebackers are coming. You get to play with this guy mainly to figure out your numbers and confuse the offensive line as to who's coming, right? And then sometimes you play with the backers, right? But mainly the 3-4 defense is about this guy and that guy. And usually you're going to send 4. And I'm going to show you one of the ways Staley, Coach Staley, I believe that's his last name, at LA may play with this right here. Remember, all the Tyson's passes are all in this area right here, are all in this box right here, in this window right here within 10, 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. So you're going to go with a single high safety look, right? And you're going to muddy up the outer thirds. How do you do that? You start playing with these backers right here, right? You can play with these backers right here and start sending them into your flat. You can play cover 3, right? You can play cover 3 over the top because this corner has that outer third versus corner 3. This guy has middle third. The free safety, not the strong safety. The free safety has a middle third. And this guy, this outside corner, he has an outer third, right? You can play cover 3. You can play cover 3 match, but what you'll start doing is playing with these linebackers. Either or, you start running these guys to the flat, right? So most of Tyson's passes were out to the right side of the flat. Whoever's the linebacker, Bosa or Khalil Mack, I'll start running them to underneath in cover 3. And try to pick some trash off. That means if I run this backer out to the flat, that means I'm sending these guys right here. I'm sending these 4 guys right here. 1, 2. So cover 3, and then you start playing with your backers a little bit, right? That's one way. And like I said, you can play man, which I think Tyson do a good job of picking up the mismatch versus man. He did a good job at beat man coverage last week, so he'll beat that. But if you go cover 3 and you'll go backer to the flat on either side on any given play, right, mainly to our right side because Tyson likes to throw to the right side, then you might pick some trash off. That way, if this corner runs off, if he runs off, this backer still feels on the backside. This linebacker has hook to curl. This backer might have flat to curl. Safety might muddy up in here a little bit for you and make things difficult over the middle, right? So still take that middle away from you, right? That's the way he may attack it. The defense. This is a way the defensive coordinator or the head coach may attack it, right? Right. So what do we do? What do we need to attack? What do we need to do? What do we need to do versus this cover 3? You're going to have to hit some stuff. You're going to have to start working the seams. You're going to have to start working the seams right here. Cover versus cover 3, the seams are open, right? This seam, I don't know what I can draw in here. I can do a circle or something like that. But this seam right here, I can do a different color. And I'll point the arrow back towards us so y'all can see. This is where versus cover 3, Tyson's going to start having to hit some passes in the seam, right? In the seam. Can I copy that? Control C, Control V. Boom. I copied it. Boom. Right? Versus cover 3, you're going to have to work these seams. You can do some 9 routes in the seam. You can do some deep comebacks, but it's going to have to be deep because remember, these linebackers, somewhat deep, because remember, these linebackers are going to be working their hook to curls, responsibility, and stuff like that. It's going to get real crowded in here, tight windows, but some kind of deep comebacks, if you will, and stuff like that. You can work some versus this cover 3 defense. You can work some flood concepts, right? You can work some flood concepts. I'm going to give you an example. What did I do? All right. I'm going to give you an example of a flood concept right here. So remember, we ran this linebacker. Out in the flats because Tyson is known for throwing to the right flat. They want to take that away. All right. How do you attack that, Coach T? I'm glad you asked. Boom. A flood concept. So say we're in what I like to call loose spread gun. Right? This is my loose spread gun. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Ace right gun. Here's your tight end. All my football savants out there, how many backs do you need in the backfield? How many people do you need off the line of scrimmage in football? How many people do you need off the line of scrimmage? Off. How many people should be off? Okay, so how do you attack this cover 3? With maybe perhaps some flood concepts here. So you're going to run this guy off. Let's assign this arrow to this receiver right here. All right. I've been putting the receiver's color in red. So let's run this guy off. We're going to run this guy off. And then behind him, we're going to run an out. Boom. That's another way to attack this cover 3, right? What I like to do, I like to attack cover 3 out of trips. So let me change up the formation for you, and I'll go trips. I like to attack cover 3 with trips, right? And what I would do is here, I would go run one guy off, have another guy, have long, medium, long, medium, and short. Somebody tell me what's the read right there. Is it left to right, left to right, right to left, high to low, low to high? If you're watching this on the playback, you telling me what the progression is right there. Left to right, right to low, low to right. Now, so watch this. If they run this backer out there in the flat, can we beat this play? Can we beat this particular scheme? If they run the linebacker out to the flat where Tyson likes to throw the ball. Yes, because you got the low read, you got the medium read, you got the bomb. So you can go high to low or low to high. That's the answer to my question from earlier, right? You typically want to go low to high. High to low. Do I got him on the noun route? Come back down to this route. If that's not there, hit that route, right? Because if they don't run this guy out here like this, 9 times out of 10, this backer is going to the medium route. He's going here. Your cornerback would have been gone. He would have been gone with this guy in cover 3 because, remember, he has out of third, and so your low route would have been open, right? So there you have it. Just some basic flood concept on how to beat cover 3, right? But remember I said, right, if they go cover 3, this is want to beat them, but they got to work. We're going to have to work the seams, have to work flood concepts. Another way I believe the defensive coach or the head coach with the Chargers is going to attack us is cover 2 zone. If you like to throw the ball out here, Tyson, then guess what? I'm just going to sit in cover 2 zone. How I get rid of this arrow? What's wrong with this arrow, bro? This arrow does not want to go away. I'm going to sit out here in cover 2 zone with this corner. I'm going to look back. This guy has over the top, so snap of the ball. He's going here. The safety's going here to the zone over the top. This guy has over the top. They split the field in halves. They have halves, right? So guys just split the field into halves. This corner is going to sit in his flat. Right? And again, they get to play with these defensive linebackers. So they're either going to rotate linebacker here and drop a backer into coverage, or they're going to rotate these backers here and drop a backer into coverage, right? Or they're going to send all 5. And the offensive line has to pick that up. But another way I would attack Tyson is cover 2 zone. Because again, looking at the pass chart. Now y'all go back and look at this pass chart. I just said we're going to sit a corner out in the flats here and keep a safety over the top. They're probably going to drop guys into the deep zones here, right? So go back and look at this pass chart. If my mouse will wake up. Wake up, mouse. If my mouse will make up. All right, it's woke. All right. Look at the passing chart. You take those flats away with the cornerback. Take those flats away with the cornerback. Let me see. Go back to this. I'm finna mess y'all up big time right here. I'm getting fancy. You take them. You see Tyson here with the flats and his passing charts all to the flats. So somebody say he like to spread the ball around. We're going to see. He's going to get tested today to see if he can spread the ball in the flats or beyond the flats right now, because they're going to load the box. They're going to load the box. They're going to crowd the line of scrimmage. They're going to bring bodies down here. Y'all see in his zone where he likes to throw the ball, I'm looking for them to load the box with bodies where he likes to throw the ball at. Rush 4. Now, compare the 2 charts right now. Compared to the charts, the way I drawn it based off of what he did last week. And you tell me where it's safe to throw the ball at. If I have this look. With that chart that he's thrown last week, where is it safe to throw the ball? If they're smart, this is what they're going to do. In some shape or form or fashion. Bears media coach said with running quick slants, run quick slants here, work here, and not unless you want to get your head blown off. Because again, this is basically the landmarks for a loaded box right here, right? Let me remove some of these arrows so I don't. This is the pass rush, but let me remove them. Let me show you a quick slant. Let me show you a slant from both sides, from the X and X and Z position. You can run it. But remember, what you don't know is, that's why I say I laugh, man, because everybody think football is so simple. Yeah, you can, but remember, you have 2 down linebackers, and on any given play, you don't know which one of these guys are coming, right? You don't know which one of these guys are coming. Now, that's what you have your snap count for. So if you go say it ready, hut, say hut, or you know what I'm saying, you give a snap, you get one of these guys to jump. And give away who's coming. Then if you have enough of your offense installed, you can decide whether that's a good play or bad play, right? So if I go ready hut and I'm going on 2, I'm going on second cadence, right? So I go ready hut, right? I get one of these guys to jump, and then once they jump, then I call blue, whatever. I let them know, signal, this is my real cadence, right? And I run the play based off, I know which one guy's coming. So if I have the slant on here and this guy's coming, then you gotta try. You can try to sneak that in behind that corner, but trust me, this guy might knock his head clean off. He might knock his head clean off coming across that middle like that. It's just slant. You could try it, but you know what I'm saying? Again, I think it's an imperative versus man. Man coverage is you're just gonna match up and pick the best mismatch and get it bussing, right? But I think again, where you attack cover 3 is you're gonna have to get cover 3. Again, corner has outer thirds, safety has middle thirds. You got to get up in these seams. So with your route right here, you might run this guy off. And you might come back with this guy. Boom. You might come back like that right there with this guy over the middle. Or you know what I'm saying? You just got to try and work it. Or you know what I'm saying? Or you can be smart and clear this guy off. Clear this guy out. Have him occupy that safety, so run him across the face of that safety. Does Luke have cover 3 beaters, and then have your slot guy with a deep like something right there. You got to work them seams, buddy. So now you ain't got to worry about this safety coming over to this guy. This cornerback's occupied. Boom. If he can get deeper than this linebacker, get depth on this linebacker, and with timing, drop that ball in here, this is where you're going to see the plays made. All right? So that's enough Coach T's playbook. I don't want to bore y'all with this. Oh, also, listen, the way you overcome all of this, this is why I say, let me come back on screen. This is why I say I don't like our style of play. The way you overcome all this is run the dang ball and go play action. Run the dang ball. Let me come back on screen. Run the dang ball and force these guys up. I'm going to show that real fast. Run the dang ball and force these linebackers up so you can work behind them. Right? I just showed you straight up throwing the ball versus the gun in a gun formation, any kind of gun, and showed you some simple ways you got to work the seams and beat that, right? But, you know, to get back to the draw real fast, I just want to do this real fast. The way you do this is if you're still gassing them 1 versus 8-man box and you still gassing them in the run game with versus 8-man box, you still running it. Now let's talk about how we should run the ball first of all, because how matters. Run the ball off tackles. Run the ball off tackle. Run the ball off tackle. I'm just drawing general lines. I'm not drawing formations. This is where we should attack them in the run game. Run the ball off tackle. Right? Get your toss sweeps going, which we do pretty well, right? Get your toss sweeps out of the backfield. I'm just drawing general lines. Guys, don't crucify me because I'm not drawing handy formation. So get to the perimeter. Get to the outside, right? Get to the outside. Toss sweeps. You might get some counters off tackles. You might get some counters off tackles. Get some powers, some leads off tackles. Toss sweeps. Jet sweeps with the wide receivers. Jet sweeps with the wide receivers. Get to the perimeter versus this loaded box. Get to this perimeter, right? And try to get to the outside in your run game. Do not run into the teeth of this thing. You should still try some, but don't major in it. Don't major in it. All right? And so once you do that, once you establish that, I'm going to draw something real fast. I said I wasn't, but I'm going to do it because I'm a nerd for it. Once you do it let's go to a pro right eye. Pro right eye. Boom. Quarterback, fullback, running back. Pro right eye. What makes it pro right eye? You got the tight end. So pro right eye, wide off. Let's go wide off. Pro right eye, wide off, right? Once you do that, say I run it off tackle like I just described. Or off tackle lead play. Fullback hit here. Bust up a hole. Corey Blasingame. Running back comes right behind him. Right? And gets busy. Boom. Right? Once you establish that, right, then what's going to happen is you go play action behind that and watch what happens. This is why you have to play under center, guys. Because these guys, these second level guys, got to respect the line of scrimmage. So what you do after that is you go, if you're running off tackle, then you go play action off of that. And what it's going to do is suck these guys up. It's going to suck that backer up. Pause. It's going to suck that back. It's going to force them. Their first responsibility is run. It's going to make everybody respect the run. And then you start hitting passes. This is your pass now. Then you start hitting passes over their head, quarterback. So you get your drop back, quarterback, drop back, boom. And you start hitting passes over their head. Still in the seams, though. Still in the seams. Boom. You go play action off of this. And you start hitting stuff in the seams, right? Behind the linebackers. You go play action. You challenge these cornerbacks. If you gotta, you know what I'm saying, fish out here. I mean, you challenge these cornerbacks. If you got a fish out here, go play action and challenge these guys. Hit them deep on the outer thirds. The kid is gonna have to throw the ball deep today for us to win the game. Right? He's gonna have to throw the ball deep. Challenge the fish corner. Somebody that's struggling, go after him. Or go play action and throw it in the seams to Cole. You can release Cole right here in the seams. Hit him off play action. Delayed block. Hit him in the seams and get busy. All right. That's enough of that, man. All right. Y'all see what I'm saying? So that's a way strategy. They're going to try and take them flats away from him. They're going to try and take them flats away from him. It's not happening. Right? They're going to try and take the run away first. They're going to try and take those flat away from. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, follow me on Bears. 360 _ Coach T. They're going to try and take that crap away from him. So he's going to have to throw the ball deep, challenge those corners. If he can find the fish, he sees man-to-man coverage out there versus DJ, take the shot, throw it up there and let DJ make a play. Right? Run the ball, go play action, suck those linebackers and extra free safety up and throw the ball over their head in the seams. Remember, y'all heard it here first, right? Let's talk about personnel real fast. Personnel, we're going to have to go a lot of 12 and 13 personnel because of our offensive line. The offensive line been shuffled around. You're going to have to see a lot of 2 tight ends, 3 tight end sets. If we come out, this is why it matters, right? This is why I be on Luke Getsy's ass. If we come out and y'all see spread out, multiple spread out offense, I'm telling you right now, just go ahead and stand by. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. Now, I could be totally wrong. We can go multiple spread. If we go multiple spread and 5-man protection, which I believe he can get the ball out quick enough to run that, but he's going to have to be right every time. He's got to be right every time. Going to be right every time. So we can run multiple spread and dink and throw the ball all over the year and pick mismatches and go crazy. If he does that, bruh, I'm just gonna tell y'all. If they do that tonight, I'm just gonna be like, y'all just gonna see me send one single tweet. It's gonna have 2 words. It's over. If he go multiple spread, trips, empty formation, trips, and they start throwing the ball all over the year from the run, they not running the ball, they not featuring the run, and Tyson is getting away with it. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm gonna tweet 2 words. It's over. That means it's over. The quarterback battle is over. Because that means we're lining up multiple wide receiver set, and this guy's picking the mismatch and picking his defense apart. So there's a couple different approaches to that. The latter one I'm not featuring, I'm not talking about so much because I'm considering the experience of the quarterback. Run the ball, heavy play action, take your shots in the deep outer thirds and in the seams. But if Luke says I'm going to go multiple spread, multiple wide receivers, and I'm just going to allow Tyson to pick this defense apart, pick the mismatch, and Tom Brady this thing, I'm just going to send a tweet that says 2 words. It's over. Because especially with this offensive line, right? So there you have it. That's my strategy. Keys to the game for me. Keys to the game for me. I'm going to give you 2 varieties for it. Again, heavy run, regardless whether it works or not. Play action off the run. Hit the seams. Hit the seams. Stay away from the outer thirds. They're expecting it. The outer flats, the outer third flats. Stay away from. You're going to have the deep intermediate thirds, intermediate thirds, or the seams. You're going to have to work that, right? Or Luke Getsy can spread it out, go multiple, and roll the dice. But I say run it the other way. Heavy run, play action, medium to deep outer thirds off of play action, and attack the seams. That's what I would do, right? Because they're gonna try and take that away from. But I wouldn't put it past Luke because we seen Luke wet the bed before. I'm just telling you. So real fast, let me jump to the DM section real fast because y'all know I gotta get a DM section some love. Y'all forgive me. I like to get into that nerd talk football, talking all that other stuff, but it is what it is. Let me get a DM section.
Very surprises or no?
You're talking like blue check marks?
Yeah, like
people who be sliding and I'm like, wow, y'all fuck with me like that.
Yeah, y'all mess with me like that, man. Y'all showing love in the DMs. Let me first give a shout out James Ford. My boy James Ford. Thanks for hanging out with me. Black Diamond, Rock Davis, what up, man? I see you in the What's Going Zones. Jay Sanders, Bears Media Co., my guy. Ron Winarski. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Ron Winarski says, Bagent spreads the ball out. Shout out to my guy. Great football take. Rome with the Bears fan said, Coach T laying it down, man. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do, man. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do. I'm surgical with it, Jake. All right. Foreman is a beast. I believe Foreman is a beast. With Roshan in there, we got a 1-2 punch today. And we got a change-up guy in Darrington Evans, which I like, by the way. I like him. His wife does a lot of TikToks. His wife's on TikTok. She does a thing on TikTok. I think I follow her, too. She got a pretty good TikTok account. Black Diamond, man. So did y'all have any questions in here? William Sprain says the Packers own the Bears. Did the Packers lose today? Didn't the Packers lose today? All right, here we go. Ron Winnock says the O-line's been making huge holes for the running backs. Yes, sir, you're correct. However, the Chargers are expecting us to come in and run the ball. And we're banged up. I think Lucas Patrick is not available for today. So we may see Doug Kramer. We may see some shuffling the O-line again with Cody Whitehair. So watch out for that. Black Diamond says, my only question or rebuttal, coach, is this kid has the noodle issue. I don't think we have proof, Black Diamond, that he got a noodle arm. I mean, there was the one deep pass versus Minnesota, man. I didn't see if his arm got hit or not, so I didn't judge the kid's deep ball off of that throw. He says he has a cannon. We're going to have to see it tonight. I think we're going to have to see it tonight. But again, like I said, I believe if Luke goes multiple spread and tries to sling the ball within the 10, 15, within 15 yards of the line of scrimmage and allow him to pick the holes in this defense, and he does it, like I said, 2 words, it's over. It's over. If he's able to pull it off, because that's really what Luke wants to do, man. Luke wants both of these quarterbacks to be Aaron Rodgers, because that's all Luke knows, man. He wants them to sit back in the gun and just ball out, picking defense apart no matter what coverage they're in, and not setting anything up. He wants to play parking lot football, man. So it is what it is. Rock Davis gave his stat line for the young kid. He says, Coach, I was thinking more 239, 2 TDs. I said 250 and 2 TDs, bro. You going to slight me for 11 yards, my guy? Come on, Rock. 11 yards. We locked in right there. 250. I said 2. No, you said 2 TDs. I said 3. 250, 3 TDs. Because I feel like today, for whatever reason, they're going to try and pad the stats. So when they get in the red zone, bro, they not going to run the ball in the red zone. They're going to try and tutty him up, because trust me, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like Chicago is loving the storyline behind this kid. They're going to try and milk it for all they can get out of it. So that's what we have right there. Like I said, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If you watch this on the playback, do me a favor again. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Real fast, you know what I'm saying? There's rumors out, conversation out there about Chase Young. I haven't seen anything cross the wire yet that's official. Hopefully. Now, the last word I had about Chase Young is Ryan Poles don't want to pull the trigger because of the physical information that Washington is not willing to disclose physical information on him, and rightfully so by Ryan Poles, because he's been burned with a player related to physicals before. So they have to do their due diligence and make sure that this kid is cleared to come in and be productive as a Chicago Bear if we do trade for him, right? But I'm interested in knowing where y'all think Chase Young or Sweat. I forget Sweat's first name. What Sweat would go for. I think we shouldn't give away anything more than the third, especially the guy with a knee injury and knee questions and knee history. I just think for Chase Young, who has the more player-friendly or organizational company-friendly contract anyway, I think it should be no more than third. If he can get him for a third and he gets him healthy with clear physical, that's a steal. For Sweat, I don't know, bro. I feel like we playing with house money. We got picks coming up anyway. You know what I'm saying? This season's kind of washed. What are you moving for? The only argument that Ryan Poles has for making a move right now is the fact that, listen, I don't believe it's a pass rusher heavy draft. It's going to be heavy on the offensive end the first 2 rounds, I believe. I'm no draft expert. I'm going to be bringing in draft experts to talk about that stuff. But, I think we should, third rounder, and just play it conservative, man. Play it conservative. That's how I feel about it. But listen, man, thanks for hanging out. We've been on just for about an hour. I appreciate you. We're pulling for Tyson Bagent to blast the Chargers tonight. Again, 253 tugs, no interceptions, heavy run and play action game. I want to see the kids show out, because this is the reason why. Because no matter what, the more the kids show us, the more we understand that in the building we have a good quarterback, and whether that turns into the quarterback competition over next year will only benefit the Bears. That's my take on the issue. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. I'll see y'all on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Until then, it's Bear Down.